So the other day, I was watching a video by Andrew Huberman where he was talking about how to optimize your testosterone and estrogen levels. It was 2 hours long. I took some notes. I implemented stuff in my life. But the funny thing is, literally like the next day when I wanted to watch another podcast so I can learn something, I saw like my YouTube homepage filled with like videos on testosterone maxing. Then I realized and I watched some of those videos, generally speaking, and then most of those videos are talking about weird ways to optimize your testosterone when it's really very simple. And so in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you the synthesized version of that 2 hour long podcast and just giving you like the rundown of things that actually increase your testosterone, backed by a cool neuroscientist who has tattoos and wears black all the time. The first thing that optimizes or even increases your testosterone that Andrew Huberman stated was semen retention. That semen retention actually increases a person's testosterone levels. Like he even gave the cool stats like by observing porn, it increases your testosterone by 10%, having sex increases your testosterone by 70%, but by keeping your semen for a week or more increases your testosterone by 400%. So to you, no fappers, yes, you're right. Clap hands for you by stating the obvious. And you, bro, just don't bust it out for a week. Second thing is competition. Yes, competition does increase one's testosterone. Like it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, but just the fact you're competing with other men and probably like in an aggressive setting just increases your testosterone for that time. And which I found to be very, very weird, but then very relatable. Because I know this is gonna sound wrong, but then there's been times in my life where me and my old friends will be like, hey, can you get that girl? And then we're like, the first one to get that girl, she is a G or something, right? And then like we literally just compete to get the girl first. Like in that instance when we're competing for that girl, like, I just feel like a sort of dopamine or like aggressiveness when it came to that type of competition. And I think that was like the testosterone feeling, who knows. But that just shows putting yourself in a competitive setting does increase your testosterone. So a better way to like put yourself in a competitive setting, please do not, compete with your friends on getting girls. That was stupid. Like try putting yourself in a place where you can play a sport like boxing, rugby, or soccer, or even like where you're just competing in like a debate setting, you want that medal or something. Just by competing, it does increase your testosterone. So the third thing that improves one testosterone is improving your sleep, but mainly focusing on improving how you breathe when you sleep. Because many of us human beings, including you, bro, don't include yourself, are mouth breathers. And by breathing in through your mouth, you're actually like causing a number of dangerous things like, messing up your facial structure, but like even developing diseases like sleep apnea, too much buildup of carbon dioxide in your body, or when you go to sleep, you don't actually sleep properly. So the technique mentioned to like fix this and improving your sleep, thus improving your testosterone, was by trying to breathe through your nose throughout the day or by taping your mouth before you go to sleep, which forces you to like breathe through your nose. Yeah, the first few times the tape might come off or like you just want to like remove it, you're not really used to it, but like by doing that for like maybe 2 weeks, you start to naturally close your mouth during sleep and then that's improving your sleep quality. So like try to breathe through your nose, and if you're the person who like snores during sleep or like you breathe through your mouth when you're sleeping, just try to tape your mouth before you go to bed. Just going outside and getting sunlight in your eyes. There's this whole sciencey explanation, but I'm gonna like distill it down into like a bro science way that's easy for you to understand. So like sunlight comes into your eyes and then which increases your dopamine levels, which increases your melanin producing cells, which indirectly increases your testosterone. You can go do the research. I've left the link down to the actual paper for the people who really want to get into the whole sunlight testosterone thing. But to sum this point up, is basically just go outside and receive sunlight in your eyes for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and probably preferably maybe early in the morning when the sun isn't that harsh. The fifth thing that increases one's testosterone is training. Yeah, no shit. But then the main misconception I've seen is that many people think that training to failure increases your testosterone. Yeah, it does, but not as much as compared to the one that I'm going to explain. Because In the podcast, Andrew Huberman went to explain that lifting heavier loads in a 1 to 8 rep range, or like your 1 rep max, does increase your testosterone levels for 2 days. Imagine 2 days of like heightened testosterone levels by just lifting heavier loads. And the other thing that also increases one's testosterone when it comes to the whole exercise thing is sprinting or some type of hard cardio exercise. But then don't surpass 75 minutes, because that's when it starts to taper off and decrease. And the last thing mentioned in the podcast was like the supplements and the nutrients that I needed to increase my testosterone. And they're just like for vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, and creatine are the ones that were recommended that increases one's testosterone. I don't know how by much, but then they just do. Maybe it's small, maybe it's medium, maybe it's big. Yeah. And yeah, I'm not gonna recommend ashwagandha. And with that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And a huge thanks to Andrew Huberman for explaining this stuff and giving the information. And yeah, goodbye, guys.